RE/MAX results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning. It's Andy Brownell, News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. And we're joined this morning, of course, Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning, Andy.
I hope you are enjoying the summer weather we have.
Oh, my gosh. I love it.
Yeah, I imagine there's a lot of folks with boats who are thinking it's time to get out on the water. I think you probably are already seeing a lot of boat traffic, aren't you?
Well, I am in Wabasha this morning, and there is some traffic just in general in Wabasha. More people just out walking the streets, checking out the little shops. We have our community event this morning. We have a shredding truck from 10 a.m. until noon, and so we've got all kinds of people from the community coming out for coffee and donuts and bring their shredding.
I love those events. It's always amazing how much stuff accumulates.
I had some calls from some elderly people this week saying, will there be somebody there to help me load it? It's awfully heavy. I said, we will absolutely be here armed and ready. So we're hoping that we can fill this semi and shred some paper today.
And everybody will be better protected against identity fraud and scammers.
Exactly.
That's wonderful, wonderful. You have been busy, I see.
I'll tell you, I saw a meme on Facebook. I think this kind of sums it up. It said, if you have found a home that you love, but your spouse doesn't like it, I would suggest you find a new spouse because they're much easier to come by.
Oh, wow. And you pointed out it's not as bad here as it is in other parts of the country.
Oh, yeah. Even our counterparts up in the Twin Cities, I think, have it a lot tougher than we do. And I'm not saying it's a cakewalk. I mean, it's still tough, but I did have something super exciting happen to me this week. I sold a house without going into multiple offers, without going over the asking price.
A rare occasion.
I mean, a clean, full price offer, 50% down, 50% financing, no inspection, and done. We didn't even have to fight for it.
So you were on the buyer side of that equation?
Buyer, yes.
Wow.
I know. I was so excited.
I bet that was a happy day for the person you were representing.
Yeah, they said, oh my gosh, we don't have to fight with anybody else for it. I said, can you believe it? Let's just get this baby signed and done. So, yeah, it was really awesome.
Is that an indicator, perhaps, of things returning to a more balanced state, or is that kind of the unicorn?
Yeah, I don't think it's any kind of a strong indicator. I think it's going to be a while. I mean, bottom line is, quick summary. The listings are still coming on the market at a much slower pace than they would normally be at this time of the year. The prices are definitely higher and have continued to go up. I was looking at something. It's like on the average, I used to tell people 3% a year. It's been averaging close to 6% a year, and I think we're up like 9% over this time last year for an average sale price. So, I mean, prices are on the rise. The inventory remains low. Days on market remains short. So it's basically get yourself in really good condition to buy, be ready, and be ready to fight for it, because that is still going to be the norm for a while, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's where your help is so important to
thank you.
Have that person. Well, I wouldn't know what to do. When you say be ready, okay. Yeah. I'm ready.
Ready if you are.
What about
yeah. Well, and the thing is, these folks that just bought this beautiful patio home this week, they said, oh, are you sure we should forego the inspection? Is that going to help us get the house? And I said, well, I mean, we have all the data. The inspection report has been provided by the seller, so we know the condition of the property. You can add time to it and buy your own, and that's fine. I'm certainly not going to discourage you ever. I'm not going to give people, bad advice about that. But I just was telling them the ways that you can get your offer accepted without having to go over the asking price. And they were so thrilled. They were so happy that it all worked out.
You came into almost like winning the lottery with that one. Because
that's how I felt. That is exactly how I felt. When the agent called me just a few hours later, not to say, oh, you know what, they're going to wait until these next 8 showings before they make a decision. They're going to wait until they have a pile of offers before they choose one. She called to say, you know what, these people are just thrilled with the offer. They're tired. They're sick of leaving the house. They just want to sign it and accept it and be done. Oh,
perfect.
Thank you, Jesus. Yes, absolutely. I was so happy.
So when earlier you mentioned that, the average prices have been rising by these percentages, which are significantly above what is normally seen for annual increases. Is there a range where the increases are even higher than that average?
Oh my gosh. If you go to some of the outlying communities, I read an article, I think it was in Rochester Magazine this week. I think like Grand Meadow is 34% and up from 2019.
Oh, goodness.
Up 34%. Chatfield, 25%. La Crescent, don't quote me if there's an exactly right.
Okay.
But I think like 22 or 24%. Blooming Prairie was over 20%. Spring Valley was at 20%. I mean, so yeah, what's happening is because people aren't getting what they're looking for in Rochester or in Byron or in Pine Island or closer, they're willing to go a little further out and a little further out. So this is have a ripple effect and is affecting the prices in the outlying communities as well. We did write an offer, full price offer on a $130,000 listing, and I told the buyer there are going to be 2 other offers, and chances are $130,000 is not going to buy it. And she's like, listen, this is in Grand Meadow. It's a tiny house. This is all I'm comfortable paying. I said, okay. And she didn't get it. And the agent told me that it sold for considerably above the asking price. So it's no longer just in Rochester. I used to tell people when I would go to listing appointments, well, yes, that's true. That is happening in Rochester, but not necessarily over here in Wabasha or not necessarily here in Plainview or Elgin or wherever I might have been. But now it's like, yeah, it's happening everywhere.
And it was predicted when we first started these discussions about the Destination Medical Center. Mm-hmm. That was, I remember specifically the housing market, that they were predicting that these surrounding communities would see this great demand for housing as well.
And then mix in the fact that we had COVID and so many jobs moved to home and people don't have to drive from wherever they live to come in. That actually played a huge part in that as well.
Are we seeing, I guess, immigration from other places? The big cities? Are you seeing customers more and more that are, I've
had a few, and I have, I'm working with a buyer right now who's coming down from Minneapolis because her job is remote, and she's like, I don't need the hustle and the bustle of the city. I can live here. If I need to go there, it's very close, but much more calm, cool, and collected here.
Yeah, the traffic is significantly easier.
Yeah, going to restaurants, going shop, anything. There's just such fewer crowds.
Yeah,
smaller crowds.
We don't know how good we have it, do we?
We do know. We do. You and I both know. We're constantly singing the praises of Rochester and the surrounding communities. This is heart of the state as far as we're concerned.
And part of that, the Debbie Downer part of it was, I think, the COVID deal, and everybody kind of, the winter came, and now that it's springtime out and you're getting out and about and it's easier to socially interact with people because more and more people are getting vaccinated, I think it's lifting everybody's mood.
I don't think I have anybody in my close circle that isn't 100% vaccinated now. Like, my neighbors are all vaccinated, my parents, my siblings, my kids, my husband and I, the people that work in the office here. So it's just so good to be around people that are like, oh, yep, I'm fully vaccinated. I'm like, oh, thank you.
I think I'm in the same boat. I know.
Yeah, it feels good.
It does. It takes that little nervous tick away from you, that's for sure. We're talking with Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results about the real estate market here in the Rochester area. We'll continue after this quick break on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
America's great cities are in deep trouble. Businesses are closing.
Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back, Andy Brownell and Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE Results. You know, I heard several comments this week from folks who listen to the show when you were talking last week about how many $1 million plus homes you have sold. And a lot of folks expressed amazement at that, and I guess I was among them, I think.
Yeah, well, and you know what? I'm pretty excited about it as well, because I think probably the most $1 million houses I've ever sold in 1 year, in one calendar year, was probably 5, maybe 6. And here we are, May. Well, not even May. We've only completed 4 months, and I've already sold 8.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and I think, wasn't it, I said the home sales at $1 million in the north, in the south were up by like 94%, and on the east coast and west coast they're up like 97 and 98%, and in the Midwest by 50%. So that means, you know, we're selling 1.5 times as many, but it feels like even more. And I think it's just because, you know, people who do come here to Rochester from other markets are like, wow, I can get this huge, beautiful house and all this land, and it's only $1.6 million or $1.8 million or $1.9 million. Yeah, I know, but honestly, it's all relative, right?
It is. You're right.
Because if they've sold a small bungalow that they got $1.2 million for in California, so there's so much to take into consideration. So I think that's, and they also know that, you know, the market, like I said, it's crazier everywhere else than it is here. I keep hearing these stories, I call them nightmares, not stories, these nightmares about these friends that I have that are realtors all across the United States that have clients that are bidding $100,000 over the asking price and still not getting the houses they're trying to buy.
What?
$100,000 over and not getting them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, you know, I can't, when I start to complain about having to present 18 offers or have to be one of 18 offers when I'm writing, I have to remember it could be worse. It could be worse.
It's all relative, as you said.
It's all relative, yes.
And it's funny you mentioned that people on the West Coast. I have a relative who recently sold what would be a modest home in the Rochester area, and that sold for $750,000.
Right.
That wasn't in California. It wasn't along the coast either. So I was amazed.
So on that note, anybody that's moving here from California or not, I've got some beautiful, beautiful high-end listings available.
Let's hear what
I would like to talk about them.
I'd love to hear what $1 million or a little bit more can buy me.
Okay. So if you want to spend $1,195,000, you could get 6 beds, 4 baths, a 3-car garage, plus a full pre-stressed underneath of that.
Ooh.
I'm talking square feet finished, 6,740. This is no small house. Sitting on 2 acres out in the beautiful Sally Hill subdivision. And this house is, I mean, when you look at houses price per square foot, this house is such a steal. And you tell me why it hasn't been scooped up. I don't know. But I'll tell you what. If you're looking for that bargain and you want to make that $1 million investment and get a whole lot of house for your money, 1770 Sally Ridge Lane Northeast might be the perfect place. Brand new construction. No one's ever lived in it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Okay, that sounds wonderful.
Okay. Now, I do still have that gem over in Wabasha, not because people haven't tried to buy it, because there have been offers, but these sellers know what they have. When you have something precious, you know it. And when...
I was going to say, you can go to the KROCnews.com website, and there's a big spread oftentimes.
Oh, yeah, I know. I love that.
And
I love that.
So if you haven't seen pictures of this place, go there and look for it. It's, oh my gosh.
Isn't it gorgeous?
It is.
So that one is 612 Lawrence Boulevard East over in Wabasha, and it's listed at $1,399,000. And again, it's just, well, this one's just under 6,000 square feet finished. It sits on over a half acre, and then it has the beach and the dock right on the bank of the Mississippi River, and an indoor swimming pool, and oh my gosh, so beautiful. And a wraparound front porch that should be on the cover of Better Homes and Gardens magazine. I mean, just beautiful.
It looks like it should be the set for a TV show. Some sort of.
I agree.
Like Dallas or something like that.
I am so happy when I'm sitting on that porch. Whenever I go for a walk, if the owners are home, I get so excited because I'll go up and sit on the porch for a bit and visit. And I just, it's such a good feeling. It's just gorgeous.
And they have
love it.
Down by the water, they have the fire pit set out with the.
Yes.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. I actually just recently advertised it in a magazine up in the Twin Cities, and I'm so happy to say that I've been getting phone calls, and I've actually got somebody coming down this weekend to take a look at it. So I'm excited about that.
And you're right in Wabasha, right? So you're.
Oh, yeah, right on Lawrence Boulevard. So you turn at the Eagle Center, and at the corner of the Eagle Center, you take a right because it's a one-way, and you just go all along the riverfront there and see all the beautiful homes. It's just gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful place. All right, so
I've told
now
you
this one.
Okay, I've told you before. I won the Powerball. I'm going to be giving.
You're going to buy that one. Yeah,
calling you right away.
Perfect. I would love to sell it to you. That means you'd be over in Wabasha. It'd be awesome.
I'd love to win the Powerball too. So there.
Yeah, perfect. Well, you let me know when that happens.
I will.
I have a new listing that is closer to $2 million than $1 million. This one is $1,999,500. Okay. So we might as well call it $2 million, but for the sake of we're not. This one sits on 20 acres.
Ooh, nice.
It has 5 beds, 5 baths, a 4-car garage. It was architecturally designed, as you can imagine. Absolutely beautiful home. It has an in-ground pool, very, very obviously private setting, surrounded by woods, beautiful lawn. Looks like they have a full-time greenkeeper. It's just beautiful. Anyway, we've had some very strong interest, but it is still available. I don't know how long it will be, but that one is 746 60th Avenue Southwest, and again, gorgeous. So if you're one of those people that says, now's the time, I'm going to buy my dream home, sell the one I've got, it's a good time because you're going to get top dollar for the one you've got, and you're going to be able to go out there and hopefully not fight for anybody else for it. Heck, who knows? Maybe there'll even be some negotiating room. Can't speak for the sellers, but So I've got some available. I got some properties available.
Okay, well, we're going to skedaddle really quickly for a break and return and chat more with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
You know something you almost never hear anyone say? I love
Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back, everyone. We were chatting before the break about these beautiful homes, $1 million plus homes for sale in the Rochester area, which I include Wabasha in that. And you meant, well, I'm going to ask you flat out because I go to your website and I just see these just gorgeous homes listed there. Are you the luxury home specialist for this area, Robin?
I'd like to say that I am definitely one of the most qualified agents in the area for luxury home marketing. I have my certification in luxury home marketing sales. I do try to be careful because luxury homes are such a small part of our market that I don't want people to think that's all I want to sell, because that's far, far from the truth. And at one time, I was advertising a lot of my high-end stuff back in the day when we were doing paper ads and everything was in the Post Bulletin. And then I would run into friends and they'd say, oh, I sold my house. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why didn't you call me? Well, mine's only a $200,000 house. I know you sell all those big fancy houses. Well, the great thing about it is I love selling houses in all price ranges, of course. But as we've talked about many times, our team has somebody that specializes in each category of real estate. So if you said, are you the luxury home marketing specialist of the Gwaltney Group? The answer is most definitely yes. That is, definitely my forte. I love the luxury homes, but I love starting the people in their beginner home and working them all the way up, and then it's super satisfying. I had that happen recently. A young physician and his wife and their 2 small children bought a house from me 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 7, I don't know, whenever he started his residency. And then he's now been, through fellowship and on to the staff. And recently they bought their dream home with me. And it was really fun to go from what they started with and where they ended up. And I told them it gives me great satisfaction to watch them grow and succeed. It's just awesome to me. So, yeah, I love to sell luxury homes. I'm definitely very experienced at it. And like I said, I've sold 8 homes already this year at $1 million or more. So I definitely do it as much or more than anyone else in this market, but certainly not going to pigeonhole myself to just the luxury home market.
Well, I imagine that the art of selling a home and serving as the realtor, the skill set for the average home is probably comparable to what you do for the luxury home, although I imagine as well that you're probably doing I don't know what.
For instance.
The service level might be different. How's that?
Well, yeah, for instance, this one that's $2 million, it's advertised everywhere, including like the Wall Street Journal. I mean, because there are people that are going to come from outside markets that are going to come to Rochester because of Mayo Clinic, and not necessarily because they're coming here to work. Sometimes we have very high-end patients that come and buy beautiful estates and beautiful homes so that when they're here, they have their private home. So people would be surprised how many people own homes for just when they come to get medical care from Mayo.
It is one of those things that makes this community so unique, that we have this mix all over the place of beautiful estates and at the same time your average, split level detached garage.
Right. Well, speaking of Mayo, before I run out of time here, I have got one of those gorgeous condos downtown in the Rochester Towers. So, perfect for the medical students, the residents, the doctors, maybe without kids. I don't think the condo living is the best for a family. Typically, it's kind of quiet and maybe a little boring. But for those people that are studying and, it's not kids probably wouldn't think it's great fun. There's no swings set out back or anything like that.
Well, they have a pool, though.
They do have a pool, but it's mostly, if you've ever been in there, people swimming laps and very serious and exercise. Again, not really like splash and bring the beach balls kind of pool. Anyway, if you're not familiar with that building, it's I know you are, Andy, but if anybody's listening and they're not familiar, it's that building that's at 207 Fifth Avenue. And this unit is up on the 10th floor, and it's right in the corner that would look down the downtown corridor.
Okay.
And I actually have had this on the market for a few weeks, and I am shocked that it hasn't sold, because these typically fly off the shelves. And I know that a lot of the residents and fellows don't come until the end of June to start their whatever you want to say, studies.
The residency, I think.
Their residency or fellowship, or even the med students, the school year. But typically people will buy those ahead of time. So for whatever reason, it's still there for the lucky listener. And it is It's been completely redone, and it's just an absolutely beautiful unit, and it's $299,000.
I know they've done a lot of work on the building itself. They've replaced all the windows recently.
All new windows, yes, yeah.
And those windows are something else.
Yeah, they are.
I can imagine, I think I've told you this before, that'd be the perfect spot to watch a thunderstorm come across here.
Oh, yeah. The view up there is just breathtaking. I mean, it's like you don't even really feel like you're in Rochester, It's like a big city view of our small city.
And you're right, you're, 2 blocks away from Mayo, the main building.
Well, you're half a block from getting inside, and then from there you can go, underneath of our subway or up through the Skyway. Yeah, very handy. Very, very handy.
Very, very nice, too. Okay. So, if you're in the market to either sell, and you'd like to emphasize, if you're ready to just sell, now is the time to sell. That's for sure.
Oh, my gosh, yes. I'm excited. I do have, I think I have 10 listings coming. Unfortunately, with all the new rules, I can't talk about what they are. But as they come on, I'll be talking about them for sure. So there's hope, guys. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is inventory coming.
All right, so tune in next week. Robin, how do we get a hold of you if you're selling or buying?
My cell phone is always the best bet, and that phone number is 507-259-4926, and you can bet I will take your call, and if I can't, I'll call you back promptly.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you next week. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results, right here on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Mayo Clinic Radio on the